Welcome back to Tasha Journeys. My mom and friend and I are in New Orleans for 4 nights, 5 days. So sit back, relax, watch this full vlog so you can see not only the amazing Airbnb that I'm showing you the full building, the common area, the gym, but I also will be sharing a great tour that we went on towards the end of this vlog. If you have watched any of my other videos, you know I love history, and New Orleans is rich in history. We are actually located on Bourbon Street. So the name of Bourbon Street, before you get to French Quarters, I'm showing it on the screen. I don't want to butcher the name. We had no idea we were in such a great location. So we were in 10 minutes walking distance to everywhere, to all the great restaurants in French Quarters, to just like everything, honestly. So this is a gym on the property that I was definitely happy to see, because I try to get my workouts in even on vacation. So the name of the building I'm showing right here, as I said before, this is an Airbnb. I booked it on Airbnb, but it's actually available like on booking.com. They have a direct website. I'm not getting any affiliate marketing money back, so I just like to share things as I'm traveling. If you're looking for an Airbnb in New Orleans, I recommend checking out this. I don't have time for your shenanigans. Wow.
I don't have time for yours either.
And her and stuff. I'm not. You got in mind? You finally carrying your weight today? Do it look clean? Why they got that toilet seat up? Huh? Can you do me a favor and like this video and share it on your social media? This is your room because I was nice and I'm giving you the one with the bathroom. But that's not my own. That's shared. I'm saying yours got you have your own bathroom, mother.
Thanks, Tosh. You're amazing.
I know.
You know, I have some issues I need that. Oh, I can do some cooking.
So, Ma, I expect for you to go to the grocery store, get some food so you can cook for us.
I'll cook at least one day, 1 or 2.
I was thought you was gonna say something smart to that.
I just said I need to do some cooking. I get in the kitchen, I'm like cooking. So nice.
This is the view. So far, so good. You know, I gotta inspect these sheets. Spray my alcohol on it. Yeah. But it smelled good when we came in the lobby. It smelled fresh and clean. This is modern, just like how I like it. It meet my expectations. It's got a washer and dryer just for you. Oh. Oh, you looking at your closet?
Yeah, I was watching her down. This is a big bathroom.
That's why I just said you got your own.
I need this.
That's why I said I don't do hotel rooms no more. We need our own bathrooms and our own space. No. You got your TV. My mama got to go to sleep with the TV on.
Tell my business, why don't you? So I have it.
When y'all check in hotels and stuff, do y'all be checking like how we doing right now?
So they got yellow on the sheet.
Yellow?
It says the word yellow.
The word yellow? Oh. What the hell is that about?
Maybe because it got a little stain they want to say it is. I don't see no stain though.
Can you take this sticker off? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if y'all do all we do. Even though when I was traveling all the time, I definitely would still check in. I just be really paranoid. Hotels, no matter what, I still spray. Some people be like, it don't matter. Just for my peace of mind. First night, I really wanted to see some live music. That's one of the things I love about New Orleans. We went to Frenchmen Street because I wanted to go to the Spotted Cat Music Club. They were standing room only, so we just bopped around to the French Market Bazaar, and we ended up at Blue Nile. They had really good live band and great drinks. And then we ended the night at Café du Monde. I love their beignets. Another one of my favorites, tour guide ripped this place to shreds. He said, "True New Orleans, do not go here." But I love
these beignets, okay? Had to come get it.
Wow.
My name is Jay, Jay. I'm gonna be your tour guide slash driver slash narrator. This
Day 2 was Second Line City Tour. I booked this because this was a Black-owned tour company, and I wanted to get the New Orleans history from a Black perspective, because a lot of times when I travel, and if you're new here, welcome, but I've been all over the world, to Portugal, to Tanzania, Kenya, Ghana, to learn about the transatlantic slave trade and just African history, Christian history. And one thing I can say, wherever I've been, if I don't look for anything that says Black, or if it's not Black owned, the history will be glossed over from a Black perspective, and slavery will not be mentioned. So this is why I booked a Black owned tour. Jay is great. So sit back. I'm going to share what I learned here and there, and make sure you leave a comment if anything stands out to you that's profound.
Jesuit priests. Now the reason why you got the priests up there is because they use Catholicism for everything to suppress. So by this being a religious city, each politician will have to travel throughout these 12 to 13 blocks where they will make quote-unquote political decisions. And we already know what type of political decisions that was, right? Now, on your left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, this is Two Jocks Restaurant. This is the second oldest built restaurant, built in these French Quarters, built in 1856. It's actually not the original landmark of Two Jocks. The original landmark is further down this street, Decatur Street, across the street from Café du Monde. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just because I mentioned that's the second oldest built restaurant built in these French Quarters doesn't mean the food is that good. People on your left hand side is those anchor plates. Slave ships arrived down here in New Orleans was a slave ship for Benin of West Africa north of the Niger River. They ferried those people to the second oldest community in New Orleans called Algiers, yo. Clean them up, make them look presentable to be sold as slaves, and inside these French Quarters. That's all these French Quarters ever was, y'all. Before y'all see the restaurants, hotels, bars, and what you see, but all it ever was master quarters and slave quarters. Yeah, some of these restaurants, I eat that in the French Quarters. I eat in the French Quarters all the time. I may eat later on, you know, but some of these restaurants I won't eat at. This on your left is one of them. This was called P.M. Sparrow's Slave Exchange, and it's back in the day, it's still named P.M. Sparrow's. Yeah, see the plaques tells you right there on your left, and then on top of that, the brick, the light, and all that is still the same from 1788. I'm talking about from 1788. They lined a lot of those people up from wall to wall, and they bid on them, and they auctioned them off at the largest slave exchange in America. It's right across the street on your left. So there's the Omelette French Quarter Hotel on your left-hand side. On your right-hand side was Napoleon Bonaparte mansion that he never got a chance to stay in. Reason why he never got a chance to stay in that mansion because the Haitians won the Haitian Revolution, and over 10,000 Haitians fled to New Orleans after the Haitian Revolution. That's why Haitians have big influence in New Orleans. Y'all look at the colorful homes, that's Haitian influence. Yeah, so he never got a chance. On your left, if you look up at the top of this building, this is the photo to prove what this once was on your left. On your right, this is the oldest pharmacy in America on your right-hand side. A lot of natural remedies and herbs that were formed in that pharmacy we still use to this day. We're talking about they don't shine light on a lot of it and say where it come from. But a lot of it come from the women that brought down the natural remedies and herbs such as gree bags, such as sage. You know, like I still light sage on my night tours, and I smudge my home in sage because it's a known fact that sage and negative energy cannot be in the same space. One or the other has to go. That goes all the way back to ancient Egypt, all the way back to Kemet. Also, it tastes great in gumbo, yo. Y'all think about slaves in the French quarters, you got to think about how they was kept immediate to the slave owners. So the big house would be in the front, and in the back, you see this little hut though? They usually have it open, so you could see how it looked like you're going to a dungeon. That would be the slave quarters. That little green door, behind that would be the slave quarters.
Wow.
You heard me? Like on another example, you see that orange and brick home on your right? The big house would be in the front, of course, and in the back that's attached, that will be the slave quarters on your right. Slaves was always kept immediate to the slave owners and inside these French quarters, y'all. That's why our family members could pass for different races on today that I'm gonna talk to you all about. Like we got quadroons, octroons, and mulattoes in our families, y'all. So we gonna talk about it on today, but our family members could pass for different races. That started in these French quarters by slaves being kept immediate to the slave owner. This was a whole street on your right. To see this street this is how narrow the New Orleans was, y'all. Like you see that is a built, see on your left, that green dome, that was a street. You could come straight through that street to this street right here on your right. But they made it a restaurant. Yeah, this is that. But think about it, how narrow the streets really was before they opened it up. You feel what I'm saying? Because you got to think about it. All you had was horses and buggies. That's why our street's so narrow. That's why sometimes on my job, notary, attorney, of course you know it's under the same umbrella. Like I'm a diehard Saints fan. Who that, baby? But the Fleur de Lis, the Saints logo, that's on the helmet, that was used for branding slaves under the French ruling. Not the American ruling. It was used for branding slaves under the French ruling. But the NFL didn't mess with New Orleans like they mess with the Washington Redskins because it happened under the French ruling, not the American ruling. Now, what is Saturday, y'all? Yeah, so it's Saturday. I told y'all invited tomorrow, y'all. But you come through this cut later on, and you get into some good trouble. Yeah, not bad trouble. I'm about to show you this little spot.
Love DBA.
That y'all might want to be around local New Orleanians, you hear me? On your right, you got the Spider Cat. And then on your left, you got Snug Home. You know, definitely Snug Home. The Marcellus family playing the inside there. Charmaine Neville, Erin Neville's little sister, she plays in the inside there. Yeah. Man, I stumbled into Snug Harbor on a Tuesday. After work, I was like, man, this is a jazzy little spot, man. I'm gonna have to check this out on a Tuesday. You know, on your left, this would be the master quarters in the front, and behind it would be the slave quarters. $28, right? Well, if you go to the John, it's gonna turn to this, $9, and you gonna be around New Orleanians. They gonna be getting their drink on in there like last night. They go there on a Friday and a Saturday, the whole weekend pretty much. You know, the Giant never closes. Yeah, the Giant. I can't recall when the Giant ever closed. This is what the poor slave owners use. The nails. You'll see the nails lined up along the wooden fence. Oh. Yeah, that's what the poor slave owners use. So people ask me all the time, Jay, why is that still up there? Well, remember when I told y'all about the Vaucaré Commission? Mm-hmm. So however that home looked back in the day, that's how I gotta look today. Bacon, egg, and cheese beignets, crawfish etouffee beignets, sweet potato cookies. Yep. Yeah, this our baby. This is the original Miss Loretta's. You know, this is the best time to come to Miss Loretta's. I ain't even go front right now. You heard me? It's because it's gonna be packed, and when they pack out, they sell out.
Let's stop right now.
Y'all on tour, baby. What's that street? Rampart. Yeah. And you got them on the food truck, because we have alcohol trucks, food trucks, all on the second line parade row. You got my baby with the twerk chain on, because actually in reality, we created the word twerk down here in New Orleans, not Miley Cyrus. And you got the Social and Pleasure Club, that's headlining day Sunday. And I'm talking about, like I said, and like I mentioned, Sunday Fun Day. Well, New Orleans has 17 wards. Ward simply means voting district. Is where you vote at, and it's where you're from if you're from New Orleans. And we have 17 of those wards. Tomorrow is Uptown, the third ward. The YMO is one of the biggest social and pleasure clubs that's going second line this season. So tomorrow, at this video, is what y'all. And that's Miss Tessie. On the same day, as many of you heard of Miss Ruby Bridges, Miss Leona, Miss Tessie, and Miss Gail, the segregated back down to number 19. In the lower ninth ward, Miss Ruby Bridges, the segregated William France in the upper ninth ward, 6 years after the judge ruled Brown versus Board of Education. The segregation of these schools. You're right, this is the Plessy versus Ferguson plaque where he actually was arrested at. That's where he actually was arrested at. And then, yeah, sir, right here on the corner. And on y'all left, it's the legendary Studio B, put together by this gentleman in the video, Brandon BMike Odoms. Now, BMike, what happened with BMike? BMike was one of the artists that painted the murals, and he went viral. You know, B actually, truth be told, he was almost about to catch a felony charges by simply putting murals on on housing development and on federal property that just sending a message like, do something with the building. If you don't want my art here, do something with the building. But B did the unthinkable when he painted the entire DeGaulle Manor projects, and he went viral. And it toured the likes of Erykah Badu, David Banner. And today, the brother never looked back. He went to the school, New Orleans Center for Creative Arts.
Loving this tour so far. It's connecting all the travel I did in Africa, in Europe. So I'm going to have to figure out how to link everything together. Ooh. I want to come back here and spend some more time up in here. I love this art gallery because of the boldness of the colors in these paintings, and it's a great contrast between the brick and this like industrial field warehouse, and it still looks a little, if you didn't have this artwork in here, it would be like, is this abandoned? I just love the contrast between that. Of course, me and Nubia love us some Hot Boys, so we had to take a picture in front of that. I just love how it has all types of New Orleans history in here. And that concludes this tour. Well, this half of the tour. That concludes the first half of the tour. The second half of the tour, I want to put in the second video, because we went to where Katrina had the most devastating impact to the lower ninth ward, and he explains the levees and his thoughts on what caused the levees to break. So definitely stay tuned for the next video, and I will see you next time. Bye.